A predator the size of a small car, with a jaw full of razor-sharp teeth and a venomous bite that can drop prey in minutes. And no, we're not talking about a creature from some ancient prehistoric age. We're talking about a living, breathing beast that roams certain islands in Indonesia, the Komodo Dragon. Meet the Komodo Dragon. The largest lizard on the planet, and honestly one of the most terrifying hunters you'll ever come across. This creature isn't just huge and powerful, it's like nature's version of a stealthy, venomous tank. Standing up to 10 feet long and weighing in at over 150 pounds, this dragon's presence alone is intimidating. Unlike cheetahs or wolves, Komodo dragons don't rely on pure speed to catch their prey. Instead, they're masters of ambush. They can sit completely motionless for hours, blending into the landscape, just waiting for the right moment. This technique is so effective that even animals as large as deer and water buffalo can walk right into their path, totally unaware that a 200-pound, 10-foot-long predator is just inches away, waiting to strike. One of their deadliest techniques is known as the lurk and lunge. Picture this: the Komodo dragon is nestled in tall grass, crouched behind a tree, or maybe even hiding under a pile of rocks. Their sense of smell is incredible. They can pick up the scent of potential prey from up to 2.5 miles away. Once a target wanders too close, the dragon explodes from its hiding spot with lightning speed. In a flash, they're up and biting down with jaws strong enough to crush bone. The power behind a Komodo's bite is terrifying, but that's only the start of the horror show. For a long time, scientists thought the Komodo's saliva, full of harmful bacteria, was what killed their prey. The theory was that a single bite would infect the victim, leading to sepsis and death. However, more recent studies reveal something even more shocking. Like venomous snakes, Komodo dragons actually have venom glands. This venom contains toxins that prevent blood from clotting and send their prey into a slow, torturous spiral. When a Komodo dragon bites, it doesn't need to chase down the prey. A single bite, and the dragon steps back, allowing the venom to take over. As the venom seeps in, it disrupts the animal's blood flow, causing it to bleed out internally. The venom doesn't just make the animal bleed, it also lowers blood pressure, causing extreme weakness and often paralysis in smaller animals. The victim, whether it's a deer or a water buffalo, is soon fighting a losing battle. The more it struggles, the faster it weakens. It's a terrifyingly patient approach. Once the Komodo dragon knows the venom is working, it backs off and lets the prey wander off to die. But it doesn't lose track of its meal. If the prey does try to escape, the Komodo follows at a distance, calmly tracking it for hours. It knows that eventually the venom will do its job. The prey will collapse from blood loss and exhaustion, and then it's game over. This slow, methodical way of hunting is like something straight out of a horror movie. The Komodo's venom doesn't just lead to death, it induces shock, causing the prey to suffer as its body shuts down. In smaller animals, the venom can even cause paralysis, meaning the animal is aware of its doom but powerless to escape. It's a brutal, gruesome method of survival, but in the wild, it's incredibly effective. Komodo dragons aren't the fastest or even the strongest predators, but what they lack in speed, they more than make up for in lethal precision. With every hunt, they demonstrate an astonishing blend of patience, power, and poison that leaves their victims with little chance of survival. But this isn't even the most extreme part. Komodo dragons have this wild ability to swallow large chunks of food, even whole animals, almost in one go. Their jaws are so flexible, they can expand to fit in prey that seems far too big for them. Imagine trying to swallow a watermelon whole, and you've got the idea. It's pretty horrifying, but hey, when you're a Komodo dragon, you don't worry about table manners. Now, Komodo dragons might be built like tanks, but they're surprisingly smart hunters. They don't rely just on brute force. They'll actually use their surroundings to trap and outsmart prey. They've even been known to set up ambushes, lying in wait near game trails for unsuspecting animals to wander too close. With a combination of stealth, venom, and just pure raw strength, it's clear why the Komodo dragon reigns supreme in its environment. Now you might be wondering, how does a creature evolve to have such extreme traits? Well, the Komodo dragon is a product of its environment. Living on isolated islands with limited resources and dangerous competition, these dragons adapted over time to become nearly unstoppable. And let's be real, This creature isn't just your average predator. It's a marvel of evolution. From its lethal bite to its cunning tactics, everything about the Komodo dragon screams survival. It doesn't just hunt to eat, it dominates to survive. So let's talk about size. A full-grown Komodo dragon can stretch up to 10 feet long and weigh a hefty 150 pounds or more. Imagine a lizard nearly as long as a car and just as intimidating. But it's not just about their size. These dragons are pure muscle, with long claws, a powerful tail, and a jaw full of razor-sharp teeth that can slice through flesh like butter. Once they do find a meal, Komodo dragons have an eating capacity that's hard to believe. Imagine a person who weighs 150 pounds sitting down and eating 120 pounds of food in one go. Well, that's what a Komodo dragon does. They can consume up to 80% of their body weight in one feeding. Their jaws are incredibly strong, and their stomachs can expand to hold massive amounts of food, bones and all. After such a feast, they don't need to eat again for weeks, conserving energy and making the most out of every meal. In their rugged island environment, this ability to gorge and then go without food for long stretches is a survival game changer. As if their hunting and feeding habits weren't impressive enough, Komodo dragons also have an incredible backup plan for reproduction. It's called parthenogenesis. This means they can lay fertilized eggs all on their own, no mate required. On isolated islands where finding a mate can be tough, this self-reliant reproduction is a lifesaver. It's evolution's way of ensuring the survival of the species, even in the most challenging conditions. A rare reproductive trick that allows female Komodo dragons to lay fertile eggs without a male. So, if conditions aren't great for finding a mate, no problem. Once the female dragon lays her eggs, she buries them in a nest and becomes fiercely protective. Other animals, and even other Komodo dragons, might see those eggs as a quick meal, but Mama Dragon won't have it. She guards the nest with intense dedication, keeping predators away until her young are ready to face the world. After hatching, though, the young Komodo dragons are on their own. They immediately have to fend for themselves, and survival means getting as far away from adult dragons as possible. Why? Because in a harsh twist of nature, Komodo dragons are cannibalistic. Adults will eat juveniles if they get the chance. In fact, young Komodo dragons make up about 10% of an adult's diet. To avoid becoming another dragon's lunch, the young dragons climb trees, spending their early days in the safety of the branches until they're big enough to survive on the ground. It's a brutal reality, but one that ensures only the toughest make it to adulthood. In the wild landscapes of Indonesia's islands, Komodo dragons are more than just apex predators. They're survivors with a versatile approach to life. They hunt, they scavenge, and they can even reproduce on their own if needed. With no natural enemies, Komodo dragons rule their territory with ruthless efficiency, embodying a mix of brutal strength, resilience, and adaptability. So next time you think of dragons, don't just imagine fire-breathing legends. Think of the Komodo dragon, a real-life monster whose power lies not in fantasy, but in the way it navigates its world, dominating its prey, surviving in isolation, and doing whatever it takes to stay on top. Like and subscribe for more content like this. Let us know what you think in the comments.